Now, let us first discuss the difference between wireless sensor network and the Internet of Things. So, wireless sensor network is eyes and ears of IoT, the bridge that connects the real world to the digital world. So, basically, wireless sensor network is the network through which you acquire the data from the field and then you do the processing. So it acts as a layer, basically an interface layer, which connects real world with the digital world. The wireless sensor network has the short distance transmission as we discussed when we were discussing the wireless sensor network. Because of the energy constraint, the wireless sensor network has the short distance transmission. Wireless sensor network has limited processing capability because we have energy as a constraint. So because of that, the processing capability is limited in case of wireless sensor network. Here, energy is the main constraint. When you compare with wireless sensor network, the IoT is considered to be a brain added on top of the wireless sensor node. So the moment you add brain on top of the wireless sensor node, the device becomes IoT device. Here it processes and stores the real world data, make the meaningful interpretation of the information being collected from the field, makes decisions based on sensed data because we have the processing capability built on top of the wireless sensor node. That means that the wireless sensor node will have now the processing as well as decision making capability, and this information is shared with the remote system. The IoT plays major role in the local data processing, and only the filtered information is shared to the remote server. Generally, we see that the IoT devices are the powered devices. Since they have the data processing and decision making capabilities, the power, that is energy, cannot be a constraint, and because of that, we keep IoT devices as a powered device. Let's compare various features which are part of wireless sensor network and IoT. Say the security and privacy. So in case of wireless sensor network, the security and privacy is medium, while in case of IoT it is high. Robustness in case of IoT is high. Scalability is also high because a lot of devices can be deployed with proper network connectivity. So because of that, the quality of service is better in case of IoT. Heterogeneity is also high because data communication is not a constraint, their deployment is globally. And because of that, the deployment and coverage has no boundary. So virtually you can deploy IoT devices in any part of the world and those can be made communicable. Mobility is high in case of IoT devices. The power and energy management will not be as high as we see in case of wireless sensor network because here energy is not a constraint. Identification of things. So identification of things are high in case of IoT because they have better capability to be connected with each other. Autonomy is high in both of the cases. Data processing is high in case of IoT because those are built as a brain on top of the wireless sensor node. Now, what is the role of IoT in power system? So IoT provides a better ecosystem to address few of the monitoring and control challenges which we see in the power system network. Now it helps in transforming the current as is system into futuristic to be system. Now let's try to understand how the as is power system network can be converted into to be, that is futuristic system, when we deploy the IoT devices. So the traditional measurement system which we see right now can be converted into advanced real-time measurement. Currently, we use various techniques such as data pooling techniques, which are very time-taking activities. And if we replace them with the more advanced real-time measurement using IoT devices where the data is captured and immediately shared with the remote system, the advanced real-time measurement can be realized. Manual control, since we do not have the capability to acquire the data in real time and we do not have proper processing capability, the manual control is the only option we have in the present scenario, while we have to go towards the automatic control. And this can be achieved with the help of IoT devices because they have data processing as well as decision making capabilities. Right now we have the power system network non-interactive, while we can make it interactive using IoT devices because these devices can acquire the data, process the information and take action based on the data locally, as well as this can be shared with the remote system for the supervisory control. The static visualization is the current state because the data comes at very slow pace from the field. Because of that, the visualization, especially the energy management system and SCADA visualizations, are mostly static, which can be made dynamic when we have proper and fast real-time measurement. Consumer can be converted into participative prosumer because the more information consumer is getting, more will be the participation from his side. Now, conventional event analysis can be converted into smart analytics because the data acquisition and data processing capability will be improved by the IoT devices. Now, let's see the IoT architecture, how the IoT architecture will look like. So, in the field, you will see the various IoT edge devices which are particularly responsible for data acquisition and taking action in the field. So, these devices are the sensors, actuators, or the other devices which are responsible for data acquisition, or maybe the appliances which can acquire the data and take action based on certain commands. This block is for data acquisition where the data is being acquired, how the data is being communicated. So we need various field connectors, or you can say the communication technologies such as Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or near field communication or Zigbee or Z-Wave or so on. So a lot of the communication technologies are available in RF space where these technologies can be utilized to send the data to the remote server. Now, these field connectors will make sure that the data is being communicated to the various other devices. One of such devices is the smart gateway, which is responsible to route and process the basic information shared by the IoT and devices, which we call it as edge devices. So they will have first capability of routing the data, means connecting data further to the other routers or the remote servers. They have the data flow capability plus the monitoring capability and the storage capability for the local information storage. Additionally, they have analytics capability as well to do the local analysis based on the data acquired by the IoT edge devices and the device management capability. Now, these gateways will further connect the data to the remote servers. Those servers can be at a remote location or maybe in the cloud. So how the gateways will talk to the remote servers? They will talk through various cloud connectors, or you can say various communication protocols which are responsible to send the data from gateway to the remote applications. Such cloud connectors are, say, MQTT, AMQP, SCTP or COAP, and so on. So let's see what are the roles or the responsibilities of these type of cloud connectors. Say, for example, MQTT is nothing but message queuing and telemetry transport protocol, which publish subscribe based messaging protocol, and it works on top of the TCP/IP protocol and designed for limited bandwidth communication. So MQTT is the extensively used protocol for further connecting the IoT data to the remote server. Sometimes we may not have the gateway available in the overall data communication process. In that scenario, the IoT edge device can directly send data to the remote server using the various protocols. Since the IoT devices have less data processing and the data storage capabilities when you compare with the full-fledged computer systems, the limited bandwidth which is available for IoT devices can be utilized by the MQTT for effectively sharing the data with the applications. Now AMQP is nothing but Advanced Message Queuing Protocol. It is an open standard for passing business messages between applications or organizations. So AMQP is generally used for passing on the business informations between various applications. Now COAP is again Constrained Application Protocol. It is a specialized web transfer protocol to be used with constrained nodes or networks. Constrained nodes means where the resources are limited. Say, for example, if the bandwidth is the constraint, in that scenario, the COAP can be utilized. So this protocol is designed for machine-to-machine communication. Now next is XMPP. This is Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol, which is an open XML technology for real-time data communication. So you will see that in case of IoT, the data is communicated from end devices, that is IoT as devices, to the cloud or the end servers using various mediums. When we have the gateway, then you can utilize the various field connectors to send the data, or you can send data directly using various cloud connectors to the cloud.